Good morning. Inner peace is not something that arrives at your doorstep. It is something you cultivate in the deepest parts of your being. When you carry the weight of past pain, the burden of mistakes, and the scars of old wounds, it can feel as though peace is impossible. But the truth is, healing begins the moment you decide to no longer be a prisoner of your past. Every trauma, every heartbreak, every disappointment was not sent to break you, it was sent to shape you. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what you choose to become after it. Healing is not forgetting, it is remembering without letting the memory control you. It is looking at your scars and realizing that they are proof you survived. Inner peace comes when you stop fighting what you cannot change, when you stop replaying the same pain over and over, and when you decide to release yourself from the chains of yesterday. Forgiveness is not about excusing what was done to you, it is about setting yourself free. The moment you forgive, you reclaim your power. The moment you surrender the need to control the past, you unlock the future. Inner peace does not mean life will be perfect. It means you will be unshaken no matter what storms come your way. Trauma may have written a chapter in your story, but it does not get to write the ending. You do. And when you choose peace, when you choose love, when you choose to rise above what once tried to destroy you, you become unstoppable. Your soul deserves rest, your heart deserves freedom, and your spirit deserves peace. Inner peace begins the moment you stop allowing your past to control your present. The first truth you must understand is that trauma does not make you weak, it makes you human. We all carry invisible scars, memories that replay like echoes in the back of our minds, experiences that shaped us in ways we never asked for. Some of us learned to bury the pain, some of us built walls around our hearts, and some of us kept running believing if we moved fast enough, the past would never catch us. But the truth is, you cannot outrun your pain. Wherever you go, it goes too, until you turn around and face it. Healing is not about pretending it never happened. Healing is about having the courage to sit with the pain, acknowledge it, and then release it. Many people confuse healing with forgetting, but healing is not erasing the past. It is changing your relationship with it. It is looking at the same memory that once broke you, and now saying, this no longer controls me. Inner peace is not gifted to you, it is built through conscious choice, and that choice begins when you decide that your past will no longer dictate your future. Trauma tries to convince you that you are powerless, but within you is a power greater than anything that has ever tried to break you. You survived what once felt unbearable, and that survival is proof of your strength. Too often we define ourselves by what happened to us, labeling ourselves as victims. But the first step to peace is shifting your identity from victim to victor. When you see yourself not as someone who was destroyed, but as someone who was forged in fire, everything changes. Your scars are not signs of weakness, they are medals of honor that say you made it through. Stop resenting the scars. They are evidence that you fought battles others know nothing about. When you shift your perspective and take ownership of your healing, you rise above the chains of trauma. Inner peace cannot coexist with a mindset that clings to pain. The mind replays what the soul is ready to release, and it is your responsibility to let go. Letting go does not mean you no longer care. It does not mean what happened was okay, and it does not mean you will never remember. Letting go means you are done carrying the burden. You are done allowing the past to weigh you down. Think about this. Every day you hold on to the pain, you give power to the person or situation that hurt you. But the moment you release it, you reclaim your power. Forgiveness, though difficult, is the key to this release. Forgiveness is not about saying what happened was acceptable. Forgiveness is saying, I refuse to let this poison live inside me any longer. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. But when you forgive, you detox your soul. You create space for love, peace, and joy to return. Inner peace begins with acceptance. Acceptance that the past cannot be rewritten. Acceptance that life will never be free of challenges. Acceptance that sometimes the apology will never come, and closure will never arrive the way you wanted. But acceptance is not defeat, it is freedom. Because once you accept, you stop resisting reality, and you stop bleeding energy into what cannot be changed. That freed energy can now be directed into building your future. This is the first step of true healing, acknowledging what was, forgiving yourself for what you could not control, and choosing to walk forward unburdened. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice to live in yesterday's wounds or today's opportunities. Peace is a decision, healing is a decision, and no one else can make it for you. It is not about time, it is about intention. Some people wait decades for peace because they are waiting for something outside them to change. But peace is not found outside, it is born within. The sooner you decide to step into forgiveness, acceptance, and release, the sooner you will feel a lightness in your soul. The chains will fall, the storms will calm, and you will realize that you were never broken, you were only bending so you could grow stronger. Inner peace and the healing of trauma require more than just letting go of the past. They demand that you rebuild a new relationship with yourself. The second truth that you must embrace is that healing is not about becoming the person you were before the pain, but about creating the person you are meant to be after the pain. Trauma changes you, but how it changes you is your choice. Many people allow trauma to harden their hearts, to make them bitter, angry, and distrustful. They wear their pain like armor, believing it will protect them from being hurt again. But in reality, it keeps them from ever truly living. Inner peace is born when you use your pain not as armor, but as fuel, when you transform the very thing that tried to destroy you into the foundation of your strength. The fire that burned you can also be the fire that refines you, if you choose to rise instead of remain broken. You must recognize that your story is not defined by its darkest chapters. It is defined by how you write the next one. Healing trauma means refusing to let your past dictate your identity, refusing to let those who hurt you continue to have power over your mind, and refusing to settle for a life built on fear. The second key to inner peace is self-compassion. Too often we are quick to forgive others, but slow to forgive ourselves. We replay mistakes in our minds, we blame ourselves for what we went through, and we carry guilt for things we had no control over. But true healing requires you to release the weight of self-judgment. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not the pain that was inflicted upon you. You are a soul who is learning, growing, and becoming. When you look in the mirror, you must stop seeing a reflection of what happened and begin seeing the reflection of what is possible. Speak to yourself with kindness. Encourage yourself the way you would encourage someone you love. If you cannot speak gently to your own soul, how can you ever expect peace to live within it? Self-compassion is not weakness, it is power. Because when you forgive yourself, when you love yourself despite your flaws, you no longer fear the world's judgment. You find strength in your own acceptance. Inner peace also demands that you reclaim control of your mind. Trauma often leaves behind patterns of negative thinking, constant worry, and feelings of unworthiness. Your mind becomes a battlefield where old fears fight new hopes. But peace is impossible when your thoughts are your enemy. You must retrain your mind to serve you instead of sabotage you. Meditation, prayer, and stillness are not luxuries, they are necessities. When you learn to quiet the noise inside, you create space for clarity and healing. Replace self-doubt with affirmation. Replace fear with faith. Replace resentment with gratitude. Gratitude is especially powerful because when you focus on what is good, you weaken the grip of what was bad. Gratitude shifts your perspective from "I survived something awful" to "I am blessed with another chance to live." And that shift opens the door to inner peace. The second truth also teaches you that you cannot heal in isolation. Peace grows in connection. The walls you built to protect yourself from pain are the same walls that keep out love, joy, and belonging. Healing requires vulnerability, the courage to trust again, the willingness to let others see your true self. You may have been hurt by people, but you will also be healed by people. Love is the most powerful antidote to trauma, and love is only found when you allow yourself to be open. Surround yourself with those who lift you higher, who remind you of your worth, who see your light even when you cannot. Choose your circle wisely, because the energy you allow into your life will either nourish your healing or poison it. Protect your peace by protecting your space. Inner peace is not the absence of storms, it is the ability to remain calm within them. Life will always test you, and trauma will always whisper from the shadows, trying to remind you of your pain. But when you have built a foundation of self-compassion, gratitude, and love, those whispers lose their power. You learn to see pain not as punishment, but as a teacher. Every storm teaches resilience. Every heartbreak teaches wisdom. Every wound teaches strength. And when you embrace these lessons, you rise beyond the pain and step into the person you were always meant to become. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you will feel free, and other days you will feel the weight of the past again. But peace comes when you no longer fear those days. You accept them as part of the journey, knowing that every step, even the hard ones, is leading you closer to freedom. The conclusion is simple but powerful. Inner peace and healing from trauma begin with a decision. The decision to stop living in the past. The decision to forgive yourself and others. The decision to rewrite the meaning of your story. The decision to love yourself despite your scars. The decision to quiet your mind and protect your spirit. And the decision to rise again and again, no matter how many times life has tried to break you. You were not created to live in pain forever. You were created to overcome it. You were not created to carry wounds endlessly. You were created to turn them into wisdom. Trauma may have shaped you, but it does not own you. Peace is your birthright, and healing is your responsibility. The moment you claim it, the moment you refuse to let the past dictate the future, you unlock a power within you that no force on earth can ever destroy. And when you walk in that peace, when you carry that healing, you not only transform your own life, you become a light for others who are still lost in the darkness.